Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be lapping the valves on the cylinder head here. I already did the other one off camera. It's a pretty simple process. However, most of the videos you see, people use this. I use this as well. But this, if you read the back, starts off, I don't know if it comes out on camera. It starts off at 120 grit, then it grinds down to 150, then to 180, and then 220. So I use this just to start, but to finish, I'll use these here. After using this purple one from Permatex, I'll use this one here, which is 400 grit, and then after that I'll go to 600 grit, and then I'll finish with 1050. Well, we'll just call this 1000. So I finish with 1000 grit. This is from a company called Tech Diamond Tools. I'll put the link for this in the description. It's from this place here. Actually, before I start, I should explain. Once you take the head off, before you spend any time on doing any work to the head, the first thing you want to do is get yourself a straight edge, like this one here. And you want to check, make sure the cylinder head is not warped. The way I do it is I put a flashlight underneath and then just run this all over. If I see any light coming through, then I get my feeler gauge and then I kind of put it in there to check if it's within spec or if it's too warped. If it's too bad, then you have to send it to the machine shop so they can resurface it. And then well, you have to do that first, because then you could have a head gasket issue or you know, a leak or something like that. And the spec that I found was 004 or less. So I have my gauge here for 004, and it doesn't pass, it doesn't fit. So this head's good. I had already checked the other one off camera, like I said when I did that, but I just wanted to explain that. So, and just in case your head's warped, you need to take it to the machine shop to get that fixed. There's a couple of different ways to do this. One way is to use this valve lapper tool here, and you put it in between your hands, and you know, you do that motion like you're gonna start a fire. Some people use a drill on the valve stem. You spin it back and forth, back and forth. And another way to do it is with this attachment here for your drill. I'm gonna show you guys how to do it with this. This one you do need a drill because you chuck to this part here, then you hold this with your other hand, and this just goes back and forth. You can see the valve seats. They're actually not too bad, and the valves themselves. So one thing you want to do, you want to keep all this very clean. It'll be cleaned before I assemble it. It'll be cleaned one more time, but for now I'm going to get a microfiber towel with some brake clean on it. And I'm going to clean all these valve seats. Then I'll clean it again with the compressor. And then I'll do the same with these valves. Clean them off so they don't have any dirt on them. Then you want to oil the valve stem, because it's going to be spinning around in the valve guide. And put some motor oil on here. Just put a little bit of this on here. It's about how much you need. I must put my hand on the back, grab it, and just as it makes contact, spin it around and get that compound all around it. Alright. Then I'm going to get this attachment here. When you clean the compound off, you want to do it very gently. Just let the brake cleaner and the towel do the work. Just do it gently and it'll come off. You don't want this going all over the place. You don't want it on the valve stem. So I'm going to do this again. So the next step is the 400 grit. All the way down. You want to smear that compound all around. And then you just repeat the process with the 600 grit and the 1000. So I'm gonna go do that now, and then I'll come back when I get to the last grit. So you saw how time consuming that was, but the result is what matters. And whatever way you decide to do it, whether it's by hand, with the drill attachment, with the hose on the valve stem seal, and then you're doing it from the valve spring side, take your time, and you know, don't go too crazy on the seat. You don't want to remove too much material. All you need is just for this thing to get a good seal, and it'll be all right. If you're hesitant, don't do this. Just take it to the machine shop. I mean, if they're really bad, they're only gonna get so good doing this. Other than that, you're gonna need to get new seats cut and all of that. But that's the end result. I don't know how good it comes out on the GoPro. All right. So it's a little time consuming, but spend time, not money. I'm gonna do all of these off camera, and I'll be back when I'm done with these and it's time to assemble. I just finished lapping the valves. Came out pretty good. So now I'm gonna go through all the bolt holes on the intake and the exhaust side, as well as the front for like the accessories, with the thread chaser, and then with the roll lock wheel on the die grinder, clean the gasket surfaces. Then I'll brake clean it with the air again, and make sure everything's clean. You don't want none of that grit or that abrasive compound in the valve guides, you know, or anywhere actually. So I'll give it a good cleaning, and then we'll continue from there. how these go into the water jacket. They're through holes. So I did another round with the chaser to make sure it was all the way through and all the way out, so that we don't get false readings on the torque. Then these are the head bolts that I'm going to be using. There's a part number there. And in the instructions it says to torque to 70 foot-pounds in the manufacturer's sequence. So you start here, then here, and then you start making the circle bigger and bigger and bigger. Instructions also say to go in 3 equal steps to 70. So I'm gonna go 25, 50, and then 70. I'm gonna go get the head and then put it on here. Oh, these things are heavy. As per the instructions, these washers have a chamfered side. I don't know if that comes out on camera. That side goes towards the bolt head because the bolt has that piece that sticks out. So it goes like this. And then you put some of the ARP fastener lubricant here and here so that it could have lube as it's tightening. And then I don't have any of the ARP thread sealer, so I'm just going to use this and put some on here and then install them all. I'm just going to install them all with this for now, and then I'll torque it 25, 50, and then 70. 5, 6, 9. 14. All right, done. The way I position the lifters, I always put it so that this little hole here, see how this side doesn't have it? This little hole, I always point it back towards the oil pump, because that's the way that the oil feeds. Actually, you can see this that looks like a pipe. This is the oil galley. This is how the oil comes in. And it comes in from back here. So the oil pump's in the bottom. It's driven by the distributor. The oil comes up and then it gets pushed forward. The oil comes up through the lifter, through the push rod, and then it just comes out, lands in here, and oils this, and then just gravity takes it back down through all these holes here. Alright, to set up the valves, you set the engine to the number 1 on TDC, and then you go around and you set everything to 0 lash as is. We're not worried about the timing events, and you'll see why. I've already done this step, the first 2 steps, because I was filming a YouTube short. You could go back and look at that. But this is loose and it was tight on the last time that I adjusted it. That's not 0 lash, it still has play. Once you start to spin it, it has no up and down free play, and it has just a little bit of resistance. When you spin it, that's zero lash. So it's down, not yet. All right, right there. A little bit of play. That's a lot. All right, after you've gone around and done all of them to zero lash, then you're gonna turn the engine over a quarter turn. And then you're gonna do this again. Every time you do this, some are gonna get loose, some are gonna get tight. This one was tight before, now it's loose. So take it back to zero lash. And you're gonna go around, and you're gonna do this for all of them. And you're gonna do this 8 times. That's 2 rotations, quarter turn at a time. All you have to do after that is just set your preload, which could be anywhere between a quarter turn and 3/4 of a turn. So I'm going to continue here and get all this done, and then we'll come back. So the way I just demonstrated how to do it is how you would do it if you had the rocker arm studs with the nut. These are all actually rocker arm bolts, and these bolts, when they're like this style, they're non-adjustable, so you would just torque these down. The torque spec for this, 7.4 liter engine, it's 40 pound-feet, 98 through 2000. This is a 98 big block. So I'll torque this down, then we could call it finished. Then I could put the valve covers on here. To put on the valve cover gaskets is very simple. They're like these rubber band things here, like this. There's a thin side and the thick side. The thin side, you just work into these little grooves here. The way I do it, I start right here in the middle. And then just work my way out. Pretty much ready to throw the intake on. I'm just gonna get some brake clean and a towel, and then just kind of go over these surfaces one more time. So I'm using the Optimum Max Torque Gray from Permatex. On the gasket it says this side down, so it's gonna go like this. It's gonna go like that. So there's a long block complete. It's a couple of things I need still. I need another one of these for the bypass. I have the thermostat, but I need a housing. I need the breathers, the oil cap. I have the distributor, but I don't have that little bracket that holds it down. So I'm gonna get those things. Also don't have the barb that goes here for the power brakes, but it's complete. It's awesome. Also have to get the carburetor rebuilt. Waiting on the parts kit for that. So that's gonna do it. Next video, I'm gonna use all that wood there. I gotta build a dolly for the truck bed and the cab. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next time.